me to is bulk unverified listings, okay? So bulk unverified listings allows us to scale and generate more phone calls. The only thing that matters to our clients, more phone calls and generating more money for them. But the question that I get a lot of the times is, well, where do I send these? Should I send them all to the homepage? Do I have to change the name? Do I have to change the phone number? Well, what we do is this. We'll build out our website. This is website.com. We have DUI attorney. This is our primary keyword. We're targeting the state. The state is Texas. We want to target a city because with unverifieds, the reason why it's powerful is I can put these unverifieds. If I have a primary business here in Houston, I can hit every city and every neighborhood around that business. Hundreds of them at scale, especially when working with people in the Philippines. I can get that work done fast, right? But where we send them to is we send them to supporting pieces of content pages, whether we're building neighborhoods or city pages, right? Fire, right? So we could build those particular unverifieds to these internal pages and we don't have to worry about it. But it brings us back to that phone number issue. If we keep using the same phone number, or if we're using VoIP numbers, what happens? They get whacked every 3 to 6 months, right? Pain in the behind. Well, I got to work around. And that workaround, I even put it here, but what about the phone numbers? Well, the workaround is something called the 10 DLC registration. This is when you can register your phone numbers and your VoIP numbers as a marketing campaign. When you get them as a marketing campaign, Google doesn't flag them and wipe them out every 90 days. But how do I rank these unverified listings? Because I can scale them, and this seems easier, but how do I rank them? Well, that's next. So how we rank them, and I'll give you another example here, is here's an unverified listing. This is from an old little, this is still up, that's why I chose this one. I created an unverified listing for C. Campbell. That's Craig Campbell, my good friend. I think you're watching, right? Hi, Craig. My friend Craig, I made him, here's the best part. This is why it's funny. It's Craig Campbell. He's given pony rides on Sweet Lips Road. Oh my gosh. Unverified listing, right? Anyway, this is C. Campbell, Craig Campbell's pony rides on Sweet Lips Road, right in Henderson, NV, where, hey, horse riding, you might think, hey, it's an obscure niche, it's there. Yeah, but it proves a point. You can rank them. And horse riding here is a big deal. Look how many competitors there are nearby. And I'm ranking. Anyway, we're going to move on here. How did I rank these listings, right? I have to hurry because of time, right? Maybe I could slow down. I don't know. But how we're ranking these unverified listings is something that I call, well, not me, it's the semantic SEO market in general calls it co-citation. What co-citation is any authoritative or unauthoritative source that's going to contain my name, my address, and my phone number repeatedly, right? Like if I could get my name, address, phone number out there enough times, Google starts to think it's real, right? So it's co-citation. That's how I rank these things. So this is an example in an authoritative co-citation. What this is, these are press releases. These press releases are dirt cheap. I buy them wholesale for $16. I sell them for $35. These press releases get me 500 links. That's 500 authority sites that contain my name, address, and my phone number, right? Over and over again. And then on top of that, I can associate an entity, right? An image. And we know that it's an entity because it's given a machine-readable entity ID, right? Anyway, we have this machine-readable entity ID. We have our entity. We also have our authoritative co-citation, and we do that at scale, and we're able to rank, but there's more to this, right? There's another thing called an unstructured citation. And the unstructured citation, and here's more examples of authority NAP, right? How we're creating more co-citation, right? With an unstructured citation is with a tool called Scrapebox. Now, what Scrapebox does, or you can use GSA. I just had this. It's a cool picture, so I utilized it. GSA and Scrapebox are spam tools. With these spam tools, I can go to hundreds of thousands of websites along with my authoritative press releases, and I could put out name, address, and phone number tens of thousands of times, if not millions of times. And when I do that, along with my authoritative NAP, like press releases, I'm able to rank listings, especially unverified listings. Okay, this is powerful Very powerful, because I'm not limited to scale. When I have a client in a particular location, I can blanket a whole city with my client. You know how powerful that is? You know how many phone calls that generates? And when Google comes and wipes it out, it doesn't matter. I could just go and make more. So powerful, so powerful. So to produce calls, this is often the next thing that I get asked, right? It's a chronological me thinking out loud, right? Like first it's like, well, what about the phone calls? They get blocked. Well, you have 10 DLC. Well, how do I rank them? Well, I do it with co-citation. Then the next thing is, well, yeah, but no one's going to call if you don't have reviews, Chris. And Chris, you can't put reviews on an unverified listing. That's not true. I know that's what the guidelines say, and I know that's what it says on Google, but it's not true. And I can prove it to you. But before I do, I want to point this out. An astounding 84% of online consumers, trust online reviews, right? I don't, but normal people do. I call them normals, right? Normals rely on this type of information. This was a study done by somebody reputable. That's why I pulled it out. With that being said, I want to share with you how and where you can actually put reviews on your unverified listings. I know some people say you can't, but it's not true. It's clear as day, and I'll show you. I actually made a really nice arrow here. See this? This is an unverified listing. Here's where you can leave the reviews, okay? So now, I've shared with you how to get your verified listings. It's a pain, I know, but if you put enough videos out there, 1 out of 10 hit in the United States. The method with the workspaces still works in USA, UK, and AU. You could still just buy an account. It's $9. In fact, Google gives you 2 weeks for free. You don't even have to buy it. You get 2 weeks for free, and I can go in there and just drop my map pins. I can drop my map pins and get my verified listings, and then after I stop getting those verifieds, I can start dropping unverifieds. Very powerful stuff I'm giving you here. Next, this co-citation strategy, authoritative NAPs in bulk, right? PR, along with GSA or Scrapebox at scale. We're not talking, 1,000, thousands of NAP co-citation out there. It's so strong. In fact, I can actually rank a suspended listing, right? This listing right here, at the time of when I took this picture, still up. This is SEO Consulting in Brooklyn, New York. It's a suspended listing. Bam. SEO Consulting Brooklyn, SEO Consulting, that 570-810-1080, that's my phone number. It'll ring right now if you call it. A suspended listing, that's how strong, that's how much, that's what I'm giving you right now. I'm just giving it to you. Here it is. Like, it works. I assure you it works. Anyway, how do we apply what we've gone over? Again, I re-go over because this is how I think, right? I'm going back over the tips. Okay, verified listings, unverified listings. We talked about co-citation, but how do I apply this to get more calls for my clients, right? Whoop, I need to go back. So what we learned about, I actually even did it in the slides. I love it. Multiple unverified listings, how to rank unverified listings, the power of co-citation, and impressions, the missing ingredient. This is what we covered so far, right? So this is an old client of mine. Well, he still does consulting here and there. He doesn't see my value anymore, but because we already ranked them. But anyway, this is Discount Plumbing. Discount Plumbing is in Minneapolis. That was very hard for me to spell. I had to use the spell checker. Serious. If anybody's seen me on YouTube, man, my spelling is not good. But this is Discount Plumbing. Discount Plumbing is in Minneapolis. Now, oh man, I'm sorry. I wanted to show the range that we're doing here. This is Discount Plumbing, Minneapolis, 500,000 population. That's actually a lot in the US, right? Anyway, this client wanted the rank in maps for plumbing Minneapolis. But what he really wanted on the back end was his name is Discount Plumbing. Now, the problem with Discount Plumbing is that's a generic term. Now, you're really good and you got everything down pat when you can take a generic term and make Google think that it's actually a brand. And that's what we were able to accomplish. And I have already given you the strategy. So here it is. This is Discount Plumbing. On the website, and I'm sure that it's changed over time because you know how clients get, they do whatever. We got them the rankings, we got them the winnings. What we did on that site, this was before I've advanced, but we laid out every single one of his internal pages, right? And I'm just sharing with you each of the little towns, and we created the unverified listings. So he had his listing here in Minneapolis. I went out and created 150 unverified listings. This is a small shot of that website, right? This was the pages I was sending the unverified listings to. I created 150 of them around the main location, pointing back and forth to this page, okay? Well, to each of their individual pages. Is this making sense? You guys with me? Okay, excellent. Okay, so this today, even now, if you search for plumbing Minneapolis, this isn't like a sleeper term, right? But this is an old client. I can't show current stuff because I've had trouble in the past. But plumbing Minneapolis, discount plumbing, if you search right now, we're in the 3-pack. But not only am I in the 3-pack, right? But did I mention the massive proximity expansion this strategy deploys for you, your primary key terms, while you get more phone calls? So I'm able to expand proximity and get more phone calls, all by creating free unverified listings, essentially free. $30 for the press release. You buy a scrape box list off of Black Hat World for about $14. You load that baby in, start sending out your, right? You start sending those right to those GMV listings. Okay. Anyway, this right here is the same client. I took a picture of the map. This is how powerful the strategy. We call it receipts, right? Here's the receipt. This is a 15-mile radius for the primary key term. Now here's where it gets better. Okay, go back. This is where it gets even crazier. Here's a 30-mile radius for a generic term, right? 30 miles for a generic term, discount plumbing, where Google actually is making our brand synonymous with the generic key term. 30 freaking miles, man. This is insanity. Now, my last GBP hacks. I wonder how that arrow got there. All right, so here's my last little hacks. Do I still have time? I do, good, perfect. I'm sorry I'm talking fast. I wanted to make sure I had enough time, okay? Anyway, in slide 36, and I pointed this out to you, I mentioned the missing ingredient, which is impressions, okay? This is the gold right here. Well, more gold, right? It's all about value. So we all know how to rank GBPs, right? Most people think they do, but we all have the basic premise, right? Number one is we optimize the profiles. Number two, we want to get reviews by daily. A lot of people aren't doing this. Reviews they move the needle. Buy daily reviews. It doesn't matter what country they're from. Actually, you could send in 50 at a time. It doesn't matter what country. I assure you, it doesn't even matter what you say. Buy daily reviews. Consistency helps with ranking. You optimize the profile. You optimize your website to mirror the Google business profile. Okay, and what I mean by that is you don't make up imaginary services or imaginary products and put them in your GBP. It has to match specifically. Like, okay, I offer these services. I'm being transparent with my customers, Google, and with myself. You need to put that. It's mirroring. You mirror it. On top of that, there's CTR, and we all know the CTR tools, right? I'm not here to pitch tools. I'm just here to tell you CTR is one of those ingredients along with traffic, but the missing part, because we all have this. We all know how to optimize. We all know about the reviews. We all know how to mirror our listings. We know about CTR. We know the tools and we know the traffic. But the missing piece that kept driving me crazy that helps the most and it will help you is the impressions. Impressions. And for CTR, there's tons of tools. I'm just reiterating exactly what I say. The tools and people get mixed results even when doing everything right. They do the CTR. They have the tools. They think they're doing everything right. But that last piece, the game changer for us, was everything mentioned plus bulk impressions. That's what I'm going to share with you next. Impressions. Google review vendor, that is the magic ticket to ranking your clients. No matter how strong or how hard the niche is, I assure you. So I'm going back over, I'm reiterating, that's how I regather my thoughts. Proper GMB optimization, buy daily reviews, mirroring site to Google business profile, massive amounts of co-citation. We talked about that, PR, and building out with our scrape box and GSA, name, address, phone number, like creating unstructured citations. Proper CTR amounts plus the impressions. I'm able to rank any niche, any city, no matter what. I'm not going to tell you which one of these clients is mine, but this is personal injury lawyer in Philly. It's not Levelin. That's Chris Dreyer's client. But I'm one of these other two. I can rank in any I assure you, any city, anywhere, this strategy works. On top of that, I want to mention this. I have an advantage. Not only am I running those impressions, and not only do I have a really good review vendor, but on top of that, I know the owner of Agency Assassin. So when I run a CTR campaign, I don't just set up one seat. I set up 3 seats. So I have 3 seats. I have my name, address, phone number, I have my press releases, I have my co-citations, and I can pretty much take any business, regardless of the niche, to the top. And so can you, because you know my strategy now. Thank you, but I have a few more bonuses, a little bit more, and I have a few more minutes here. So here's just a few more tips, which I left in. I called it bonuses, right? So a couple little bonuses I wanted to give more value, right? So I have some testing results from the SEO Mastermind. Now, I've shared these in other talks, but I want to share them with you because I've never given them to the Philippines, and I'm glad to be here. And again, William, thank you for having me, brother. Thank you. Anyway, do maps engagements move the needle? Now, when we're talking about maps and engagements, you know, those like thumbs up. I saw people on Fiverr offering this as a service. Please stop. We tested this specifically. Putting those thumbs up or adding those engagements is completely useless. I tested it more than once. This is just one screenshot. Do images make reviews more relevant? Now, here's why this is important, and knowing this is important. Have you ever had a business owner, right? They have 10 reviews. They get a bad one, but when you're on Google's homepage, Google shows one of the bad ones with good ones. You know what I'm talking about? They'll show 3, one will be bad, and then you'll have 2 good ones. Anyone ever have that happen or no? No? Well, it's a travesty, and it hurts my heart. So you now know how to combat Google's horrendous actions by utilizing images inside of your reviews in order to take top positions, and you'll get in those top 3 spots. This is a powerful strategy to understand. All right, so just adding images in the reviews, of course, you have to be relevant in your review, but this will be considered the most relevant. Remember, Google sorts the reviews by relevance, okay? Images make it more relevant. Next, do 11-cent clicks hurt the GMB rankings? Everybody wants to run clicks and traffic. Maybe you don't have money for tools. Maybe you just want to go to micro workers, but people are always worried. These foreign clicks are going to hurt the profile. Well, we tested it, and it's not true. Here's my exact script for micro workers. This is what we utilize always. You could see it. This is the script. It's very simple. There's nothing fancy. Everybody always thinks there's a secret. It's no secret. We just actually do the work. When you take a look here, I don't know why I took 2 pictures here, but you have before and you have after. Nothing too dramatic, but it doesn't look like it hurt it to me. This is foreign clicks. These were 11-cent clicks coming from all over the world. It didn't hurt. It only helped. All right. Now, how about bot traffic? Remember I showed you those bots? People are always worried about bots like awesome traffic bot, epic traffic bot, worried about it actually hurting the business. Well, this is awesome traffic bot. I took another little picture. What we were running is we were running those impression strings. And as you can see here, we were stacking words and they were showing up. Not crazy amounts, but they were showing up. We were running VPN clicks, right? With awesome traffic bot. And when you take a look here, this is the client. Remember I told you about German Car Depot, the guy who put me onto the Canvas guy? Here he is. If you search for BMW auto repair, Porsche auto repair, Mercedes-Benz auto repair, anything in Hollywood, Florida, or Fort Lauderdale, I guarantee you I'm in the map pack. I almost assure it. So no, the answer is no, it doesn't hurt you. It only helps. And that is all. Thank you so much.